Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on kind of more Valentine's-y thing because it's the holiday, because why not? I'm also going to be doing this in a bit more of a chibi style, which, I want to do it in a style because I think it's perfect for the holiday, but at the same time, chibi styles have always just defied me. I can never quite seem to get them right or get them in a way that I like them. So this is one of the first times that I had to do a lot of research before actually doing this tutorial because I'm stubborn and I want to do it in this style. And I kind of wanted to make it work right, so I actually have the sketch already down before I started making this video. Case in point, you can see it right in front of you. But as I'm going through this thing, I'll, of course, as always, point out things that you should know about doing this style, and things that I've picked up in not being able to do this style myself. So, first things first, make sure this is all good. First things first, the head is pretty much the size of the body. Whoops, wrong button. But if you look at this, they're pretty much the same size. And there's other styles. There's some that have a 3-head system, wherein normally characters would be 7 to 9 heads tall. Chibis are like 1/2 or just 3. So you get kind of cute sizes and cute expressions from that because their heads are so large. And the other thing that I have learned doing this is screw the details. Don't do details. Don't try and show fur sticking out, stuff like that. It just doesn't matter. And I left that there. Okay, but it just doesn't matter. Just forget it. Chibi style excels at being really simple and really cute and really small, so naturally you don't want to have a lot of those really large and important details that normally defines a character. I mean, find what makes them them and stick with just that. And as it comes down to chibi styles and just kind of for the holiday stuff itself, it's best just to have characters interacting. I mean, for a lot of the stuff I had found for research on this was tackle hugs was one. Then there were just characters giving other characters little pecks on the cheek and stuff like that. Cute little things. And you can't really have much of a Valentine's Day thing with just one character. So, find your Valentine and make this nice little thing for them. Other things to note are know that this is not a PowerPoint presentation. Other things that you should know is the details should be kind of smudged a little bit. I know I said that stick to the details that define the character, but that doesn't mean that every single detail has to be absolutely perfect to the character's original design. I mean, you can have little things that are different just so that it kind of keeps the same cute feel that should be there for this drawing. And of course, you can do this traditionally as well. And I think you'd probably be better off doing this traditionally, because if you're going to be giving this to someone, you can actually hand them a nice little card instead of working on this digitally as I'm doing here. In fact, I'm doing this a little bit differently, wherein I'm actually making this the final size. I'm not making this very, very large as I normally do, because I kind of want it to be small. If I make it too large, I'm worried that I'll try to put too much effort into the details, and that'll ruin it in the end, and I just want it to look nice. But what you want to do is you want to have the eyes be absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. So in this case, the eyes are actually about, about a third of the total face, which, not actually that accurate when it comes to what a character is supposed to look like. And you want the nose to be small, because too large of a nose is perceived as an ugly thing. And again, we're going for a cute character here. Unless, of course, the character has a large nose, and you can do cute things with it, like throw whiskers on it, so that it kind of accentuates the look of it. Things like that. There's always ways around the common beliefs of what's cute and what's not. For the arms, it's just kind of a stub. Stub. You can have like a little thumb if you want. Actually, that would be down here. What am I thinking? But I think I'm just gonna have a little stub for this one. Again, just to kind of keep with the theme. There's lots of other little ways you can go about doing that. So like, there's a lot of ways you can go about the hands, and a lot of ways you can go about the feet. You can actually have like full hands on them, though it might look a little bit strange if it's so small. For the feet, you can actually have like little paws, or little like bottom of the feetsies, or you can just have one where they don't have much of feet at all, and they are just kind of stubs. Like I'm gonna do this on another layer because I'm a dork like that. But you can just literally have them just be stubs. No need to do anything interesting or weird with it, because that can work. Again, this is supposed to be a very simple style. It's supposed to be very cutesy and fun and small, simple, and easy to do. All I'm going to be doing here today is just showing you a few little things that you can do to make this simple. The tail is a difficult one, because how do you make a complex thing as a tail, even like a large tail, into something small that still looks like the right size and right shape? And the way I've gone about it is just shortening it and making it smaller, which is kind of a strange thing to say, but I mean, for my Sona here, the tail is normally would go down to about here on the body, but I made it longer. I made it longer compared to the character, but I mean, given the size and shape of the character, that's perfectly fine. But I also don't have as many like kind of fluffs going out. It's just simplified, which seems to work the best for this. And of course, here you have this character giving a flower to someone else, because it's adorable and it's cute and it's the Valentine's Day thing to do. A little curl on the flower, like it was just picked. And so there you have one character. And there's other little things I can do to fix this up. I can say take this and actually shorten it up like that. But I think I'm gonna actually shorten it just a little bit like that. The rough sketch is only there to be a rough sketch. If you end up doing something later that you want to change it to or fix it, then absolutely do so, and this is a perfect example of that. I go to show you just an example of how else you can do it, and then I immediately like how else I can do it. This is live action art tutorials for you here. So you have this character, all done. Of course, the coloring is a different step entirely, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now on this side, notice I didn't have the ref up for the last one, just because it actually was really in the way. Will that actually resize down there? Nope, it won't. Ah, that's fine. I'll just have it right there. So for this side, you have really roughed up hair, bedhead, as the ref will actually say. But the interesting thing about it is these earwings. I'm not aware the character actually has ears. I'm going to assume that they do not. Instead, they have wings. But it falls under the same category of it needs to be simplified. So instead of having like all of this detail in here, what instead I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to have it kind of just have 3 different levels of these points. Feathers. Yes, feathers are just points in my mind. And that should kind of keep the same effect going. Actually, this last one I'm going to fold downwards just so that it kind of helps keep this point going down. And of course, the kind of messy bedhead look is still supposed to be in play. And where normally here it would cover up the other eye, I don't actually want to do this. I want to have the eyes be visible, just because I think it'll look cuter that way. Again, the purpose of this style is to be cute. It's just to be cute. I really wish I had a better explanation for it, but if you can kind of forego little bits here and there to bring the overall drawing to just be more adorable, then you might want to actually consider doing so. Of course, you know, without completely making the character impossible to tell who it is. But still, if you can manage it, then I would recommend it. It's adorable. It's just supposed to be adorable. So, bring the bottom of the jaw back. Put in the eyes looking onwards. Like, ooh, what's that? What's that? Is that for me? And then the other set of the head wings should be actually back here. Actually, you know, you want to see that at all because I've made these much lower than they really should be. Up here, above the head, down here, below the head. Because I can do that. I am the drawer here. I have the power to change things as I wish. Really, I'm just like a huge dork. I don't know why anyone watches these things. But just gonna have her holding her paws together, kind of waiting to see what this gift is. What's this? I'll try it. I'm gonna be shortening it up just a little bit. And then the legs. You can give kind of like a little bump for the toes, or what would be assumed to be the toes. And then the tail, in this case, if I move the ref back over a bit, her tail is very flat along the top, and the bottom has just these little bumps going out. So that's imitated here, wherein it's flat across the top, and then the bottom just has little. No, that's to bring it lower. Okay, that hat is actually getting in the way a bit. So, there we go. And so you just have a bit more of a accurate representation of the character's tail in a smaller setting. Because in the end, we're minimizing this a lot. So we're making this quite a bit smaller than it has really any right to be. Whoop. Zoomed out there for no reason. Now I'm going to rotate this character slightly because somehow I managed to... Oh. Somehow I managed to not be able to select things correctly. Haha. But somehow I managed to actually rotate her around when I was drawing her, so... Now I'll take that. No. We're keeping it. We're keeping it. We're doing this live, everybody. We're doing this live. The one thing I am gonna have to change is that I have to change the body form just a little bit. While normally you want them just, again, you want them to be simple, I do feel like I want to add just a little bit more, I don't know, more curves to the body. Then this leg I actually want to bring inwards just slightly. then reattach the tail. There you go. And as I get rid of the underlayer, now we can go on into the coloring this a little bit. I'm going to relocate this to the middle. There we go. Now, for the coloring, pretty much it works much the same way. You have to understand that you can't have the exact color pattern as you would in most characters. This character is a great example because you have all this intricate detail going around the face, and this is going to be simplified, so there's really no room to have a lot of those details. But the hair color and the fur color are going to be pretty straightforward, and she even has a detail of the body underneath. Because if you noticed, I didn't draw clothes on these characters. Now that's pretty much an optional thing. You can very easily draw clothes on them, and it works much the same way, where they're just going to be simple clothing. Or they should be simple clothing. Oh, I absolutely put that on the wrong layer. Yep, I did. But no, they should just be simple clothing. You could have things that are a little bit more complex on it, but in the end, they're just that. It's supposed to be simple. If you take nothing else from this video, take away the fact that this should be cute. Alright? Just, if it's not cute, then you're doing something wrong. Because it's supposed to be adorable, and if it's not adorable, then it's not a cheap character because it's not adorables. I'm sorry, but it's just not. Now, I'm going to actually speed through this bit real quick and talk to you again on the shading front in the background. See you real soon. And welcome back. So, threw in all the colors, and I should point out that what I was talking about when I said I had to simplify fur patterns and such. The wing kind of got a little bit simplified here. Feet don't have the double triangle, I just left the one. The sides have all of these marks going down, but I kind of left it to just a scribble. And then, you know, kind of like all these marks going through the face, there's like empty spaces here, marks for individual eyes going all the way up. On my end, I don't have the like jagged edges. There's really not much simplified on my end because the character's meant to be simple. There's nothing strange about it. And of course, if I zoom this up properly, I made this gray because I'm working with a lot of whites, and that makes things a lot easier to see for actually making this. And that is a important thing that everyone should know. And of course, when it comes down to shading this, I lost my clipping. It comes down to shading it, I kind of just want to keep it to really simple cell shading, as I explained in my shading tutorial. It's easy to do. It's rather fun too once you kind of get the hang of it. And in this case, this is going to be much darker than the final version of the shading. I just kind of want it down for the sakes of being able to see it. And you don't want to go too in depth with the shading on this. Again, it's a case of the simpler is better. You don't want things to be too much. I mean, if you suddenly have really in-depth shading, then it kind of defeats the purpose of doing really simple line work and overly simplified character designs. So really just kind of keep it to rough areas where you'd expect there to be shadow. And of course I'm going to be darkening this, or lightening this later, so I mean, you're not going to be seeing much of this. It's only there just to define the shapes a little bit better. So a little bit along the face, kind of going up slightly, just because of the really messy hairstyle. And then over here, it's going to be kind of much the same situation, although a little bit more up here, just because of the character design. and to give a little bit of differentiation between the two characters, other than, you know, startling differences in gender, color, and size. I realized how stupid it was to say that I wanted them to be slightly more different after I had said it. And, you know, a little bit more detail on the wing. Again, I don't want to go too crazy with this, so when I think there's like a certain limit where you think it's too much. That was probably a bit too much. And then this going down here, kind of filling in this area a little bit, pointing it up. And then kind of just around the eyes, around the face. The face is going to be getting more shading than anything else, primarily because it's so freaking big in these characters. But, you know, that's the charm. The charm is really big eyes, really big nose. Or no, really big eyes, small nose, big head. Big forehead is actually really important for the style as well. Because that's something that we people perceive as cute. We people. That just sounds so stupid, but no, it's, you know, people perceive a large forehead as something that's really cute. And so that's the shading. And of course I'm going to lighten it up just so that it's not really there. It's just kind of there. And as I jump to the background, naturally you gotta have like kind of, if nothing else, just kind of a gradient of a pinky thing. Doesn't have to be a heart. Doesn't have to be something, you know, really lovey-dovey like that. It can just be something as simple as just a little salmon color. not quite pink. Yeah, that's what we'll call this color, not quite pink. And of course, if you want to go really too far into this, you can give character a little bit shy to be giving flowers. Ooh. Now, this image is incredibly small, actually. This is the full size of it. And I made this to be the full size because I kind of wanted to show that it doesn't have to be some large image, as I've been known to do. Some of my stuff gets incredibly large sometimes. But there's no need for it, especially in a case like this. So all I'm going to do is just crop it by that. So we have this little picture. Get rid of the background. I am going to bring this pink down to the bottom. Mostly because I think that, whoops, that's the wrong layer. But mostly because I think that would probably be better for the sakes of the drawing, that the bottom edge has all its stuff in order. It's not just kind of off into a gradient, into the great unknown of who knows where it goes. And the background doesn't get a shading. It just kind of gets this hue going throughout. And then we end it off. Since this is going to be smaller, it's just going to be a single Z. 50. Now that kind of bugs me that she's a little bit too high up, so I'm going to fix this now. And as I fix it, I will do my wrap up as I normally do in these videos. As usual, thank you all for watching. If you liked what you've seen here today, then try it out yourself. I mean, I'm going to be putting this out earlier than normal just because I want people to have the opportunity of actually drawing something as a gift for I can't think of two eye shinies at the same time. It's just not possible. You just can't do it. But I want to give people the opportunity to do stuff for Valentine's Day. So you guys are getting a video a little bit earlier than I would normally release. If you try it and you care to share it, in this case, then my email is at the end of the video. Show me what you made, it'd be great. If you have any ideas for stuff in the future, maybe ideas for future holiday items, then let me know, either comment section below or in an email as well. And as usual, have a good day. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be